Hey, happy Friday and welcome to Evolve with Grace with me, Stella Grace. Every Friday we're chatting astrology and energy and all the current things that are going on. I've got a really exciting discussion to have with you today. It's a really funny thing as well. I was so excited to talk about the full moon next week on the 23rd that I almost missed a really favourable and one of my favourite transits astrologically that's happening tomorrow. I was so excited thinking about the full moon and looking at the full moon chart that I've almost missed the astrology for this weekend, which is absolutely stunning. So we've got an even more packed show than I previously thought. Just when I thought it was a big week in astrology, it gets even bigger. Now, so I'm going to start with the current chart. I've got two charts for you today. So I'm going to start with the current, and then we're going to look at the full moon chart for Thursday. There's some absolutely stunning astrology around the full moon, so I'm really excited to share both with you. So let's get into it. So tomorrow, the 18th of May, we have the very cool name as well. It sounds exciting, and it is the Jupiter Cazimi. Now, what a Cazimi is, it's when the sun meets. So here we've got Jupiter and the sun meeting together. Now, this is a big deal because it's super good fortune, it's super abundance and expansion, and the sun being the life force and Jupiter being all things good fortune, known as the great benefic. It's good luck, it's expanding on areas, it's good, it's knowledge, it's wisdom, it's positive power. It's a great time this weekend to really claim your self-worth, claim your abundance, plant seeds of that which you wish to see create, and work on creating them obviously over the next year. So this is a transit I've used before for finding solutions to problems, by manifesting the solutions. Now, what I mean by manifesting is not that we're making a wish on a fluffy unicorn and hoping it will come true. I love fluffy unicorns, by the way, but that's not what we're throwing out there. We're making a wish in terms of that of our heart's desire, those things we wish to see, solutions to problems, things we want to create in our lives, anything we want to bring in: joy, abundance, passion, love, creativity, success. This is a time to really plant seeds for that. And by manifesting, I mean that we set very clearly what we'd like to bring in. We throw it out to the universe that we are open to receive that. We're looking for that solution. We're looking for that desire that we want to show up. And we're then taking the action steps to bring it in and let it unfold. So that's what I mean by manifesting. We're part of that participation process of bringing it in and making it happen. So it's a really exciting time for that. I'm a little bit biased as well because this year the Jupiter Cazimi sits exactly on my rising, or within 1 degree of my own rising sign. So it's a really lovely time. If you're interested in seeing how it works in your chart, or where any of the other astrology points work in your chart specifically, drop me a line and we can go through your chart. We can have a look at a reading for you. Be more than happy to take you through your birth chart and have a look at where these exciting alignments fall and how they impact in your life. And you can do that via my website, www.stellagrace.me. But on to the astrology again. So we've got tomorrow, this energy is already building up. So this is, as some astrologers deem, the luckiest day of the year tomorrow. And we've got that energy already building. I can feel that. I mean, how do you guys feel? Drop me a comment. Can you feel this? Can you feel this kind of light, abundant time growing? Because we've got this lovely energy tomorrow, and it will feel in effect for a day or two either side. So the whole weekend is, you know, sunny. It's a sunny energy, even if you don't physically have good weather. It's a sunny energy. It's a great time to be thinking about, as I said, bringing things into fruition and manifesting them into reality, because it's in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus loves to get the job done. It might take a while. It's slow and it's steady and it's calm and it's grounding, but it gets the job done. And we want that calming, grounding energy to really bring these things into tangible reality. As we were saying, we're not here making wishes. We're actually part of bringing that into a physical reality as well. And Taurus absolutely is perfect for that. So this year, the Jupiter Cazimi, this weekend in Taurus, an amazing time for bringing your wishes into reality and thinking about how that impacts over the next year until the next one. The next one will be in Cancer. So looking at the seeds and the wishes that we're planting today, how we're going to actualize that energy coming into our lives over the next year. So enjoy the Cazimi. That is really, really gorgeous energy. Now, the other thing we've got, so I'm just going to pull up the chart for, this is actually today's chart. So we've got the Jupiter and the Sun together in Taurus today, close together today, tomorrow exact. So an amazing time to look at your wishes and your goals and your creations. We've also got them next to the MC line, which is the midheaven, and that's about our career. So an additional opportunity to think about, and we can utilize anything we want to. It doesn't, there's no set structure, or there's no right or wrong here. It's really just follow your heart. But I love about astrology that it gives us like a roadmap, so we can utilize additional tools that the skies are showing us, that the planets are working with. We can use those energies to utilize and bring in the things that we're desiring and the things that we're wishing. And with it being next to the MC as well, the midheaven line, we've got an opportunity to think about our career. So if that's something else that is up for renewal, up for negotiation, it's a great time to look at how you want it to be, look at the outcomes that you're wanting to bring in. We've also still got Uranus and Venus quite close together today. They're in a conjunction. So some changes around relationships, possibly some fresh energy into relationships. It could be revolutionizing the relationship with yourself. That would be an amazing use of Uranus and Venus energy together. Venus is a key player next week around the full moon as well. So we're going to come on to that in a moment. This weekend we've got this cluster of planets in Taurus. So as well as the Jupiter and the Sun conjunction, as I've mentioned, we've got the midheaven, we've got Uranus, we've got Venus, and we've got Mercury all in Taurus this weekend. And so what this is showing us is it's a really great time to be bringing into our physical reality all the things that we wish to see and strengthening our connection to ourselves. Venus in Taurus is all about, strengthening that connection to self, connection to our values, connection to our sensual earthy pleasures. She's all about bringing in the abundance. Taurus is the sign of the material wealth. It's the sign of resources. It's a sign of possessions and the earthly realm. And Venus there loves to bring in those aesthetically pleasing things, as well as an abundance with finances, but also other resources too. This is about inner and outer resources with Venus in Taurus. So that's really beautiful as well. We've got some other astrology happening that I'm really excited about as well. So let's get into the full moon chart as well. So on the 23rd, we've got the Sun and Venus are also in a connection, in a conjunction at the time of the full moon. So Venus being a key player this week, she's definitely active in the skies. She's bringing that touch of harmony, that touch of feminine essence that we have within all of us, whether we're male or female. We all have all of these aspects within us. And so our feminine essence is activated by Venus. That's our pleasure, things we find beautiful. As I was saying, it's aesthetically pleasing things around the home, around our lives. That's why you often see me with fresh flowers. It's just those little reminders of joy and beauty, things that bring you joy and beauty. So Venus is conjunct the Sun next week. So we're looking now at the 23rd of May. Now this is the full moon chart, and this one's really exciting because we've got this activation while the full moon's happening, and you can take it as all of these planets, when they're in close relationships around these astrological points such as a full moon, when there's other things happening around that, we can take it as a whole, because they're all activated at the same time. So they're all kind of enhancing each other in this real beautiful synergy together. So as well as the full moon, we've got it really activated by Venus. So it's a nice, light, harmonious, fun full moon on Thursday that we're looking forward to, because we've got Venus there providing that softening essence whilst the moon is full in Sagittarius. Now Venus is still going to be in Taurus at that point, but the sun's already gone into Gemini and is opposite the moon in Sagittarius, which is what makes it appear full to us in the sky. The sun and the moon are in opposition. And so they're activating each other. And with the moon and the sun activating each other, we've got this heightening energy. We've got it heightening, illuminating. Full moons are also a good time to release anything that's not serving you, because they're showing us more. It's like an illumination of our emotional side, of our subconscious side, sometimes of our egoic side. So it's a really good time to let stuff go that we don't need, that's not serving us. But Sagittarius moon also likes to have fun. So it's a fun and freedom seeking moon. So as well as these other activations, this softening essence of Venus, keeping things harmonious and beautiful for us, we've also got our freedom seeking adventurous side coming into play here with the moon in Sagittarius. It's a really great moon for setting our sights high. So just after the Jupiter Cazimi, we've got another really kind of Jupiterian experience with the moon, actually, because the moon is, Sagittarius and Jupiter are each other's ruling areas. They are similar essence. So the sign of Sagittarius is ruled by the planet of Jupiter. And what that means is, there's lots of adventurous essences that the planet and the sign share. There's lots of wisdom seeking, philosophy, fun, adventure, travel, long haul, big trips. There's lots of expansion energy. Wherever Sagittarius or Jupiter touches in your own chart will often show these key kind of points. It's more of our adventurous side. It's our lucky streak. It's how we think about wisdom and share wisdom. It's taking the wisdom that we've learnt. It's very much higher knowledge, higher education, higher understandings, and broad thinking, broad perspective. Also, this full moon and Sagittarius and Jupiter energy is great for being uplifting. It's really positive. It's a lot about seeing the bright side of a situation, finding the benefits in where things may have been tricky, thinking differently, thinking bigger, thinking of the bigger picture, really. So it's a beautiful energy for all of those things. And I think a really uplifting week, hugely uplifting week, actually, from tomorrow. I mean, I thought it was uplifting just with the full moon activations, but actually with the Jupiter and Sun Cazimi tomorrow, it's an entirely full uplifting week. We've also got the sun changing signs into Gemini just before the full moon, and so with the sun in Gemini, that's also uplifting because it's moving from the solid earth sign of Taurus that the sun's been in for the last month, through those stable earth, fixed earth ground that Taurus is in. Taurus loves to really kind of incubate and fertilize the seeds that we planted with Aries season. So at the beginning of the astrological year, we have spring equinox in Aries time begins, and that's a great time for the beginning of the new life cycle in astrology. That's about planting new seeds and setting our intentions and pushing forward with dynamic energy, fire energy. And then Taurus comes the next month and really stabilizes those seeds for us, really incubates them, looks after them, ensures they have the right nourishment to grow. And now we're shifting into Gemini season, which is an air sign. It's, the sun in Gemini from early next week is all about lightness, it's communicative, it's quick thinking, it's witty. It's all about really connecting with others on a communicative level. It's the element of air, so it's lightness, a communication, intelligence, thinking. So we want to also bear in mind we don't want to get too lost in overthinking, but it's a great time to think things through, to write, to channel, to journaling. We've got a great time for having discussions, ironing out communication issues, especially with the Venus activation. Because where Venus softens, it's also a great time in that mix with the Gemini Sun, which they are conjunct, coming up to the full moon, and still, you know, fairly conjunct at the time of the full moon. Still, we class it as a conjunction, 3 degrees apart there. It's a really good time for softening our communication with others. So this is a really brilliant week for solution finding. If there's been any areas of communication or relating to others or relating with oneself that have been tricky, this would be a really good week to strengthen those connections, strengthen our relationship with self, strengthen our relationship with others through this more harmonious way of relating, communicating and showing up. So I'd really invite you to think about areas that you might want to bring this touch of luck from Jupiter and touch of harmony from Venus. It's an amazing week for that, because we've had some really heavy, you know, it's the ups and the downs. We've had some really heavy weeks in astrology, to be fair, and this is a big week and an uplifting week. This is why it's aptly named, all about the fun and freedom of this full moon. But it's also more than the moon, it's those other areas that we've mentioned. And we've got as well on the full moon exactly conjunct, so both in 29 degrees, Jupiter and Venus. So again, this luck is running right through the week. This touch of luck is really activated in the skies. Harmony and luck, I mean, what a beautiful combination. It's really a week for good fortune and a nice harmonious beautifying effect. So I love that for this week. What have we got? We've also got still Jupiter and Taurus. It's quite a wide conjunction by this point. It's knocked off. They were conjunct, and it's, you know, but Uranus is still moving through Taurus towards, slowly going towards the last degrees of Taurus, and with it still shaking things up with the system, still bringing in the new, still looking at revolutionary changes to our structures, still thinking about bringing power and change and revolution and humanitarian factors to the system, to the material realm, to how we do the material, how we do wealth, how we do resources, all of those things up for renewal. And actually I cover that all in a lot more detail. That's still very current in my last video, New Systems Are Go. So if you want to catch up a little bit more on how the energies of the structure and the system are very much changing, have changed a lot already and are still changing, those changes underway, then have a look at that video. That's still very current. We've also got in the sky around the time of the full moon, we've still got a conjunction with Chiron and Mars. So this is an opportunity for healing. This is still in, and still is quite a nice thing to be running alongside all this Venus energy and this lucky energy that we've been talking about, and the communicative energy, because Chiron, being our wounded healer, likes to alchemize. So it might bring up, there might be, you know, a small amount of painful triggers highlighted because Mars is an energizing planet. But actually this should be quite softened by the other activations. And so anything that does come up is really another opportunity to get deep with yourself, to build that really beautiful relationship with self and then with others, to have a look at some of these things for our highest good. Yeah, so it's, you know, when we're looking at this stuff, when we're talking about any triggers that come up or any wounds that Chiron can show us, that's really to serve us to be more evolved, basically. You know, it's to alchemize difficulties from our wounds, from our pasts, from our, you know, any difficulties. That's all to serve us for our gold for the future. You know, how have we become wiser from it? How have we grown from it? How have we healed from it? And then ultimately, how can we support others as a result of our experience? That's really great use of Chiron and Mars energy together there, bringing some of those really wise lessons from a healed place to bringing that into energy to support others and to bring our lives into more fruition from our previous experiences, you know, to really utilize what we've been through in the past. That's a really good use of that energy. So it's an exciting week of astrology. Please drop me any questions in the comments. I'm happy to run with those and answer them as best I can. Let me know how you're feeling the Cazimi energy. I think it's a really beautiful time. I'd love to hear about how you might wish to start manifesting, what things you'd like to bring in from this weekend into the next year, what seeds you're planting this weekend of greatness, of abundance, of joy, of luck. I'd love to hear the areas that you're thinking about working on and any solutions you're looking for and how you might go about really activating those from this weekend onwards. I thought we'd finish today with an oracle card. So I've chosen the Rose Oracle, the beautiful Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And if you've heard my videos before, you'll know that it won't be too long away until I'm shuffling my own oracle deck, because I am well into that journey and not a million miles away from finishing, which is great. So I can't wait to share that with you. At the end of this year, my book and my oracle deck will be done. So that's super exciting. That's definitely one of the seeds that I'm planting at the moment and cultivating. And let's have a look at the oracle, the wisdom of the oracle. I love the oracle just for a bit of a quick hit of inspiration, hope, motivation for the day. It's all good. So let's have a look at what we're looking at for this week ahead for the highest good of all. We've got, oh, I love this, after the rain. So after the rain's really beautiful and I think very fitting with a very uplifting week in astrology after some heavier weeks for sure. So we've got after the rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. So I think this is a really lovely one to end on, actually. We're thinking about what we were just talking about, any areas that have come up, any areas that have been shown as triggers, as wounds, any working through any difficult periods at the moment, because there's been a lot up for renewal. There's been a lot of shake-ups to how we do things, and that might have brought about changes in your life. You know, that might have brought around endings, that might have brought about around things that you weren't expecting. You know, the energies have been pretty strong. We've had a lot going on with eclipse season and retrogrades, and there's always stuff going on, but we've had quite a lot of big astrology in the last couple of months. So if that has, you know, if you found in your life that's been reflected by big changes, then please know that it's been for the purpose of serving you something now for new growth, for new renewal, new starts, and acceptance of a new path. That's really key here with this card, after the rain. And you've got that, I don't know if you can imagine, but that really beautiful smell of the rain hitting the earth. Like I've kind of got that coming in where, you know, almost after a storm, it's kind of, you know, it's that dewy, there's a moistness to the air and a moistness to the ground. You kind of feel like it's a starting again energy. You know, the ground's been saturated and almost nourished, and, you know, the storm might have gone on, but actually now it's time to restart, reset. So after the rain, we'll take that there as, you know, a beautiful healing portal really has kind of come to a completion, ready to move forward again. So enjoy that, enjoy the energies this weekend. I'd love to hear how you're getting on, and I will see you again next Friday, and we'll be into Gemini season then, and some planets will have changed signs as well. I'm going to come on to that next week, and we'll be looking again at a topic, and we'll be looking at the current astrology. So I look forward to seeing you then. If you want to reach out in the meantime, all my links are below, and I'll catch up with you soon. Have a beautiful day.